Usually, children's drawings are a source of delight as they illustrate their fantastical ideas about the world, the superheroes they admire, or the fun they had while on vacation with their families. But some creepy drawings by kids often hide chilling backstories that are brought to life through their artwork and often capture their emotional states in terrifying accuracy. Number 5. In May of 2021, a 21-year-old woman named Angelica and her boyfriend had just adopted a new kitten that loved to find hiding places around their house. But on one occasion, after the kitten had hidden again, they started searching for her and stumbled on something that unnerved them, and they took to social media to share their experience. In their search for the kitten, they looked behind their couch, but she wasn't there. They then decided to search the kitchen, and this is where they made a strange discovery. Under one of the kitchen cabinets next to their stove, they noticed a hole that shouldn't have been there. In the video, Angelica places her hand next to the hole for size comparison, revealing that it's only a few inches high. They decided to investigate further, and to their horror, they found a crude children's drawing inside the hole that has caused many people to advise them to move away from the house and never go back. The drawing shows what seems to be a hangman-style stick figure, but they were at a loss as to what it was actually meant to depict. She did an internet search and says the closest thing she could ever find that resembled the artwork was a set of runes, but she couldn't find any that matched the drawings exactly. To make matters worse, when they found the hole, the kitten was sitting inside of it and refused to come out while continually looking at the creepy artwork, seemingly distracted by it. She also found that the hole was connected to the couple's bathroom, and along with the strange drawing, they found a 7-Eleven cup that seemed to date back to 1993. There was also a random piece of cardboard that they didn't know what to make of. Comments on the video included people telling the couple to move immediately, while others jokingly said that this was exactly how scary movies start. It's not known whether the walls in the attic have been cleaned or painted over since. If not, the room certainly holds a surprise for its next owners. Number 4. In September of 1948, David Seymour, a co-founder of Magnum Photos, was sent as a special correspondent by UNICEF to report on children who lived in 5 different European countries after the Second World War. He visited Greece, Austria, Hungary, Italy, and Poland, which was David's home country. While in Poland, he traveled to Otwock and eventually moved on to Warsaw, where he took a few photos of some ruins that were created by the war. There, he happened upon a group of school children that were removing rubble with the use of wheelbarrows. When he followed them, he found many other children who were working on a garden plot as part of their occupational therapy. Here, he took a now famous photo of a girl named Tereska, who was 7 or 8 years old at the time. The photo shows the girl standing in front of a blackboard that has a task pinned to it, reading "This is home." The children's assignment was to draw a picture of their home, and Tereska gave an insight into how children perceive the world after living through the events of the war. Her creepy picture was merely a frantic set of chaotic lines and circles that seemed to make no sense. Records from the school's history show that Tereska had only attended the school for about a year. Her brother and sister-in-law were tracked down and asked to provide details on her life. It would later come to light that her father owned a candy store, and when the family's home was destroyed during the war, they spent 3 weeks trying to reach a village on foot that was located 40 miles away. During her 20s, she spent time in a mental asylum near Warsaw, where she still enjoyed drawing as she did when she was younger. She would end up spending the rest of her life in the institution until 1978 when she passed away. Number 3. A Malaysian girl who goes by the nickname Mel has acquired many followers on Twitter by drawing what she calls the ghosts Mel always saw. She also accompanies the drawings with the description of each of the ghosts and where she saw them. She started drawing strange pictures when she saw a ghost in her room one night after feeling particularly stressed and decided to sketch it. She then remembered all the ghosts that she had seen in the past and decided that she should draw them too. The first picture is of a spirit that she describes as bald and adds that it peeks from an empty girl's dorm room. In the drawing, the ghost seems to have pointy ears and peeks around a corner with a menacing expression. The second, she says, is a depiction of a young boy that used to follow her around after her final exam. She adds, however, that she wasn't scared of the ghost since he was a good kid and that she wasn't sure why he came to her room, but that he probably missed her. Her third drawing is of a woman wearing a head covering, and she states that her name is Kempaka. She states that the drawing is of the last time she saw her, and that she was wearing yellow clothing. When her followers asked her who the woman was, she replied that she was her friend, and she's older now, but that she didn't look creepy at all and just seemed like an ordinary girl. But the final drawings are certainly the creepiest. It depicts what seems to be two women, both with long hair, but the first is drawn without a face, and the second seems menacing with wild hair and what seem to be fangs protruding from her mouth. She explains that the two ghosts always follow her around, whether it's at her dorm room, at home, or in the streets. Adding to that, she claims she's also seen a female ghost that flies. She adds that she luckily didn't hear any ghostly sounds, but that she woke up feeling ill with a fever the following day. Her drawings have since gone viral and have received many mentions, likes, and retweets, with her followers often asking whether she can really see the spirits and how she felt when she did see them. Number 2. A realtor named Mary Soroka has shared her experience with creepy children's drawings after she entered a house that had been standing empty for some time. She describes what she found there as the creepiest thing she has ever come across while doing her job. In a video that Mary shared on TikTok, she explains that they had recently found the house and decided to check out the attic. They pulled down the stairs and found that the attic consisted of a long hexagonal room with a patterned carpet and a single window. But it was what they found written and drawn on the room's wall that gave them the fright of their lives. The walls were covered in children's drawings that had been made with crayons, one disturbing message reading, "Did I scare you?" The walls were covered in lines and circles that seemed to have been drawn frantically over a drawing of what seems to be a smiling man. Adding to the creep factor, they also found at least 10 children's names written on the walls between the other scribblings. The video also shows a tic-tac-toe game that was never completed, words that were written and then scratched out. Some of the names that were found on the walls include Lucas, Polly, and James. Mary theorizes that there had been many kids that stayed up in the attic, and since the drawings are dated to 2001, they would be grown now, and she wonders who they are. At the end of the video, she asks if her followers think they could find the children that drew the creepy pictures, and adds that she's sure they have some interesting stories to tell. Number 1. In 2019, 3 migrant children who had been separated from their families were asked to draw pictures of their experiences while they were being kept at US Customs and Border Patrol detention centers. And the results have been truly eye-opening. The 3 children, one of whom hails from Guatemala, and the other of which the country of origin is unknown, were staying at the Catholic Charities Humanitarian Respite Center in McAllen, Texas, where families are sent after being released from Customs and Border Patrol custody. And it's here that they were asked to draw their experiences. Upon arrival at the center, the families are given clean clothes to wear, hot meals, and showers, often their first for a long time. They usually don't spend more than 24 hours in the facility, after which they're released to find their family members or sponsors. The pictures all show heavily drawn lines that represent the bars of the cells that they were kept in. Behind the bars are stick figures representing the people that are kept there, covered in foil blankets that are given to the detainees in order to keep them warm. Another showed the toilet facilities, also drawn behind the cage's bars. It also shows what appears to be an open cell door with the keypad next to it on the wall and an open doorway. The third depicts 5 children sitting behind the bars with 3 security guards watching over them. Dr. Zaragoza, the incoming president for the American Academy of Pediatrics, stated that she could tell the children were very tired when they drew the pictures, often seeming expressionless. She added that she was told the 3 children who drew the creepy pictures were 10 and 11 years old, but that she didn't know what their names were. They were also not known to Sister Norma Pimentel, who was the executive director of the Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley, who manages the Respite Center. The pictures have since caught the attention of various news outlets and have started to raise awareness of the difficulties that the migrants face in these situations. But Sister Pimentel adds that the children at the center create many works of art, and that most of them are not about the detention facilities. When they're moved from the center, they have the chance to relax and often create drawings of the positive things in their lives. The drawings have since also received interest from the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of American History. A curator at the museum has stated that they're interested in the drawings as part of an exploratory process, but added that the museum does not publicize nor speculate on potential collecting prior to formally assessing artifacts. A statement was released by the museum, stating that it has a long commitment to telling the rich and complicated history of the United States, and to documenting the history as it unfolds. The Smithsonian has reached out to CNN, who had reported on the children's drawings, as well as the American Academy of Pediatrics, who then helped create awareness of the drawings by bringing them to the attention of news media outlets. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up to date with all of our future uploads.